It's absurdity in our PG font. Tycho Brahe's behind creased cardboard, but you don't pull up chairs for humor, do you? You shouldn't miss this guy Cthulhu. He shakes a stone. There's Light Eldritch compelling you, the viewers, to hit the merch store. 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 Walnut's Grove is gone, which sucks for a druid. Plus mail is strong, but nuts wise into it. Sigils on the cave wall stabbed like daggers. She took wolf form and she howled aloud. She bit at Cthulhu and she snapped her snout. And by her instincts led you to the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Rosie, she's shopped there before. All her grandkids get gifts from this store. Little halflings with their kingpins playing footloose. I've seen them picnic beneath the stars, wearing their bright dark magic scarves. It's a one-stop shop for birthdays at the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store.
Denard's a paladin, dragonborn, who treats everybody else with scorn. But you know that they all deserve it, don't you? He gains entitlement from bits, or so Jerry claims, so I guess it fits. And they both expect you all to hit the merch store.
Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. Maybe there are gods beyond whose tendrils shift their waking pawns, but Jerry kinda seems like he has got this. Except the times when the phones light up and ideas arise, then outright erupt, and Jerry's gone, volcanic curse at Rothfuss. What now, Rothfuss? Come on, Rothfuss. Ignore Rothfuss. Gosh darn Rothfuss. Dang it, Rothfuss. My game, Rothfuss. Go home, Rothfuss.
Shut up,
Rothfuss. Flippin' Rothfuss. Let's not do this. Hit the merch store. Hit the merch store. For her diamonds, I want a girl who can sort a chest. I want a girl with shears that cut and swords that burn through zombie flesh. I want a girl who knows world generation, who crafts furrows and times her attack. She's modding her community. She's flying through the air. She's smelting out impurities and feeding her cat. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron. I want a girl who logs in early. I want a girl who plays till late. I want a girl with unobstructed creativity who uses a tripwire to ruin your day. With shulker boxes organized and lustrous in a tone that will torch you like desert grass. Who crafts furrows and times her attack. She's smelting out impurities and feeding her cat. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron. Whose shield is emblazoned. I want a girl with good enchantments. On some server we will meet incidentally. We'll start to talk as we shoot skeletons. She wants a spawn with biome convenience. She wants a spawn that's in good repair. She's changing her aim from wither to dragon. She's trading her archery for a trident that's self-repairing. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron. The summer is past, but your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing stronger. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Goodness, how did it get so late? Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and
Let your
head down and dream.
Lay your head down and dream.
Let your mind flow downstream.
Sprawled out in a moonbeam.
Lay your head down and dream. Joe Hills is filmed before a live streaming audience.
That's us! Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're going to have a chill mining stream. We have plenty of copper we need to gather, so we're going to get going. Good evening, Typical Human, Sunset Wolf, Triforce, Stephanie Hall, Fair Terrier, Polaris North Star, Laura Morgan, Matlin Bago, Sean Cockrell, Tide of the Moon, Dog on the Internet, Stacey Grace, McLesley 13, Lance, welcome one and all. Welcome the mighty ruler of shorts in the Discord, Dottie Matrix, and Nola and Magenta. Also, we got a tip rolling in already. I haven't even posted the link yet, from Aaron S. Ferreira. Thank you, Aaron S. Ferreira, for that. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. That is going to put us... Whoops. Sorry, didn't mean to post that in the Discord. I don't normally post the tipping link in the Discord because, like, y'all are... I trust you. You're good. You either know how to find it or you don't need to know how to find it. Okay. Where were we? We're mining. We need copper to make more tokens for our Patreon monument. And, okay. Also, I just got a text message that gives me permission to write an email. Yeah. So I need to send an email real quick. Snow! Do we need to reply all to this? No, just a reply. Thanks so much for the update. Corinne, Andrea, and I are definitely going to want to group together. Though we don't have a fourth in mind. And the folks I know out there, like Pez or George, Fisher, likely already have their own groups set up. As the individuals feel free to place someone with us at your what's the word? Not convenience. Your diligence. Your discretion. We trust. I trust you to find us a grief. I trust whoever you place with us will we're pretty friendly. So I trust whoever you place us with us will have a good time. Joe Hills, Nashville, Tennessee. Da-na-na-na. Okay. Email sent. Woo! Okay. Sorry, we have a big trip coming up this upcoming weekend. And... big trip coming up this weekend. And we need to be placed in a group of 4. And there's only 3 of us in our particular traveling party. So I just had to let the organizer know that we're cool with whoever. But not to split all of us. Don't split the 3 of us up and randomly put us all in, like, 3 different groups. Like, just assign one random person to our group is kind of what we're going for there. Oh, hiya, Creeper. What you doing? You busy? Oh, you're not busy. Hopefully that went well for you. You done exploded yourself. I hope you didn't have much left to do this evening. You done exploded yourself. All giving, nothing left to be receiving. Where are we going? We're going to be competing at the world-famous Dory Hill pinball tournament. Because it's a pin golf format, it's kind of like a golf tournament where I think the way it works is that everybody plays all 18 holes, if you will. But you get assigned a different starting hole, and then you go through in order. And your scores are compared to the entire tournament field at the end, not just the 4 people you play with, right? So my daughter and I, normally if we're on the same pinball machine at an event, that would mean we were competing head-to-head. But in this case, we would just be hanging out. So, hey, glad you were able to get a copy of that book. Project Hail Mary is a lot of fun if you like that sort of thing. It's like a mystery novel for engineering puzzles, which is exactly something I enjoy, but I know it's not for everybody. Okay. So we're going to grab some more copper here, and then we're going to probably head out. Because we've basically maxed out, we fished our limit inventory-wise here. Welcome, Chef Nutmeg. Is this the tournament that's her Christmas gift? No, because this is a tournament I wanted to compete in. The one that's her Christmas gift is that if it works out financially. So I'm not promising this to her yet, but I asked her if she would want to do it. So there's a women's tournament in Pittsburgh near Christmas, and since I wouldn't be able to compete in that, there's no like, oh well, this isn't really a present for you because I wanted to go anyway. This is one of those things where it's like we would only be going because it would be good for her ranking, but and because it would be fun for her. But yeah, I would get to spectate and hang out and play some of the machines that aren't actively being used at the time for certain times of the tournament. But on the whole, it would be a trip for her instead of like this one's a trip for both of us. Matt Limbago says, great job on your attempt at X's new game. Definitely MVP. Thank you. Yeah, I was really happy with how that went. Because I have not played Bed Wars in like a decade. So I was like just trying to like make stuff up as I go. A lot of people were like, you guys don't really seem to know the meta. And it's like, no, we don't. But we got enough things right that like, I mean, clearly that was something, you know. We got enough things right. Okay, so that's a decent amount of copper to start off here. We'll probably have to go fix some tools and stuff too. Hey, welcome, new $10 patron Centauratron. I thought you were already a $10 patron. Were you only 5? Either way, thank you for upgrading, or if something went wrong with your card and you just fixed it. That's the thing, is sometimes it'll send me like, you have a new patron message, and it's like, I don't have a new patron, I have an existing patron who fixed their credit card that didn't get auto-billed. But, yeah, thank you, Centauratron, either way. Okay. Okay, I think we need to make a run to... Oh, we need to go to Corrales' car wash, actually, to fix all my stuff. And we need to record going to Corrales' car wash, too. Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Okay, so tools we need to fix. That one's got mending on it. Washing machine's gonna shake itself apart. It's not even like heavily loaded. It's just getting old, I think, is the problem. What I don't want to do right now is replace an appliance. I don't know if y'all could hear it clanging around the corner. I can't. There's like nothing in there. Why is it clanging like that? It's fine. Okay. Devin Crotty says, Patreon decided to reject my payment method 2 this month, and it's a whole thing. I'm sorry, Devin Crotties. Yeah, I hate that that's giving you extra work. No. No, nobody's banging on the door like, Joe, you need to calm down the Minecraft. No, if instead my daughter's like, Dad, be louder at Minecraft. People like when you're loud at Minecraft. Maybe they'll give us extra money and we can go to a theme park. Dad, can you get all the hermits to go to Dollywood with us? Scar wants to go to Dollywood, Dad. Can you get Doc to go to Dollywood at the same time that I could go to Dollywood, like not when I'm in school? Dad, be louder at Minecraft. Make everything funnier. Get all the money so that we can have Tango Tech and Impulse and Doc and Stress and False and Cleo and everybody can go to Dollywood and ride roller coasters with me, Dad. It's like, I don't want to overpromise here. That's not something I can do, no matter how much money people give me. Sounded like a really loud minecart. Yeah, no, that's just the laundry machine. Nola says, to be fair, I would love to watch a video of Doc M77 visit to Dollywood. I know, right? I know. Are we working at a HermitCon at Dollywood? That was the thing, is like I was trying to explain to Corinne why that would be really challenging to do. I'm like, well, so Dollywood has like a lot of theaters, so we'd have to book one of the theaters, and well, we'd have to ask somebody we know to get that set up, and he'd probably be happy to do it since his grandpa worked there and he worked there, and yeah, I don't really have a lot of good excuses to not do this. Like, we actually have the contacts. This is actually one of those things where I'm like thinking through it, and I'm like, well, that's actually not, that's not crazy. Yeah, if you want to go watch one of oh gosh. Can I find this, if you want to watch one of the best videos on YouTube, so one of my friend's grandfathers was Mountain Man Roger Dillard. And here's a video of, this is a 21-minute video that he made of himself doing like crazy stunts at Dollywood and also going on like Japanese talk shows and stuff. Sean Cockrell, thank you for the 22, who says loudly. I thought it said howdy. Loudly. So that's going to get us 12 past our next Face Gamer expansion milestone. So here we go. It's time to expand Joe's. Lowering the Joe pasty now to 80%. Okay. But yeah, we need to go to Corrales' car wash and record a... Oh, I forgot money. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Okay. Let's go ahead and switch over to recording mode. HermitCraft Season 9, Episode 72, maybe, Segment Delta, Take 1, and action. We have a lot of gear that is in desperate need of repair. Luckily, our pal Corral has just dropped his prices at his car wash. So, supposedly, we can pay only a single diamond. And we need to place that in the shulker below the pay here sign. Okay. And then we need to stand on the red block inside the car wash and press the button. was nice. Ooh, where are the fireworks? Yay! Well, that repaired some of my gear. Not all of it. Maybe we need another diamond. Yeah, let's get another diamond and do that again. I wonder if there's different songs on different sides of the build. 1 diamond. Repairing everything quickly. Paying here. Pressing a button. Gonna see if the song changes. I mean, it is a banger, so... I mean, we can monster mash to it regardless. Yay! Thank you, Corrales. I better get back to mining copper and working on my coin box. Time skip. Stop recording, switching back over here. Also, some people were asking when the setting up stream sign's going down.
Make sure they're bright and gleam.
Title and tweet, pour water, tank top, and chroma. OBS seems all set, so I click start the stream, and so I'll pause, fold in, and open VLC. I'll pick 2 songs before, lay your head down and dream. I'll say that's us to y'all, Joe Hills from Tennessee. Folks asking when will my stream begin?
After howdy, it's items and chest tools breaking. Pickets from poof while talking to you professional Minecrafter here, there's no mistaking. Then I'll click crafting quick, anvil time, enchant pick, then I'll replace the books in random chests with care. I'll tour my winery, I know there's blocks somewhere, and then I'll hush and hush and hush and hush chat swears, not any closer to recording. Folks keep asking and asking and asking and asking, when will my stream begin? Seriously, y'all, I need to record this next episode. I've been working toward. I can't edit without footage, no. Once I'm all geared up, maybe we can start the show. Maybe we can start the show, I suppose. Taking down that setting up sign, taking it down just in time. Also, we got a tip rolling in. Let's see who it's from. Devi here, hi, woo! Devi. Tipping 5 and putting us only 3 away from the next face camera expansion milestone of the day. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills. And also YouTube Super Chat. That's an option that you have. Let's go ahead and post that tip and link. Dang it, that was another Mountain Man Roger Dillard thing. Okay. Well, it sounds like the dryer just finished. During the theme song, or the setting up stream now sign would have been the best time to move the clothes from the wash to the dryer, but whatever. It's fine. Welcome, Gum. Welcome, Cheesiest. Cheesiest says, I would have been here sooner, but I was watching Pearl's new video. Ooh,
I haven't seen Pearl's new video. Cheesiest, can you give us what were like a quick summary, like 3 bullet points or whatever? Like, it had trash ladying and PvP and like what did it have in there? I haven't seen it yet. Give us the high level summary. Welcome, Cheesiest. Immediately labor for all of our benefit, and the benefit of Pearl, the moon of shininess. It had Corrales, it had Ancient Cities, and it definitely had Cleaning Lady. Ooh, that is a pretty good summary. Thank you, Cheesiest, for patronizing me. Also, Professor Gallifrey! Tip in 20 writes, loving the progress on the pinball. Boom, 13 and 7. That gets us now 7 past our next face camera expansion milestone, 13 away from the next one. So here we go. It's time to expand Joust. Do. Lowering the Joe pasty now to 70%. Okay, let's maybe throw these sticks away. And also, I think I should maybe... I should probably go lay my head down and dream, because I'm not picking up stuff anymore. Yeah. It's a good summary without any spoilers. Only the best from Cheesiest. Thank you, Cheesiest, for delivering the best in summaries of Pearlescent Moon's videos. Here we go, dropping off this. Also, maybe we bring this back and we put the diamonds back inside, just as a treat for later. Making sure if any copper fell, we pick it up. And that should be plenty. Hey! Didn't get killed by the fall. Ooh. Probably should get some food back in our hotbar there, too. Scar faces his most difficult opponent yet. Himself. Boom, boom, boom. Do. La da 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 do. I keep thinking it's Saturday because my daughter had off from school today for the holiday weekend, and so it feels like yesterday was Friday. I spent so much time editing today. This Scar video, I think y'all are either going to look at this and be like, wow, Joe, that really paid off. Or you're going to be like, wow, Joe, I don't think I would have put that much time into something if it was going to come out looking like that. Yeah, we're out of stuff already. Yeah, okay. Let's head back down then. Okay, so we're gonna make more of these cubes of raw copper too. Mind of me writes, I trust the process. I trust the process. What I don't trust is my ability to land this this jump. Nailed it. La da 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 dun 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 dun. Let's dictate something to the phone and see if it can understand what I'm saying. I sent Snow an email requesting that the three of us be assigned a rando rather than broken up into 3 distinct groups. And Snow says that'll be fine. Whoops. Hey, that actually dictated properly. Dictated but not read. Joe Hills. Okay. Lost Cult Music. Thank you for tipping 3. Says, love the Bedvars POV. Saw Doc's point of view. 2. Need more. So thank you very much for that 3. That is going to put us evenly 20 away from the next milestone because we just hit this one. Here we go. Expand Jost. La da 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 da. Lowering that Joe opacity. 260. We're at the Tony Stark helmet cam, as you can see. Cheesy says, I do like the tokens. They look fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to do another wave of the tokens. I'm currently in resource gathering mode on that. Let's get this black concrete powder and gold ore. There's a few things we want to get out of there for right now. But yeah, I'm really glad that people really enjoyed the Bed Wars video, because my other video I'm working on has been just killing me in editing. It's just taking way longer than I thought. And so I was like, oh, if I can get this Bed Wars thing out the door, then I'll feel better about how long everything else is going. And it's been remarkably well received, like way better than I was expecting. So thank you all so much for the kind reception of that video. Cheesy says, Asuma knocked it out of the park with this version of Bed Wars. Yeah, he definitely really did. Fred sits alone at his desk in the dark. There's an awkward young shadow waits in the hall. He has cleared all his things, and he's put them in boxes. Things that remind him life has been good. 25 years he has worked at Babe. Now a man's here to take him downstairs. And I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. And I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. And I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. It's time. Do 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 do. There was no party, there were no songs, 'cause today's just a day like the day that he started. No one is left here who knows his first name, yeah, and life barrels on like a runaway train where the passengers change. They don't change anything. You get off, someone else can get on. And I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. And I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. And I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. It's time. Street light, it shines through the shades, casting lines on the floor and lines on his face. He reflects on the day. Do 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 do, bum bum do, bum do, bum bum do 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 do, bum bum bum. Fred gets his paints out and goes to the basement, projecting some slides onto a plain white canvas and traces it, fills in the spaces. He turns off the slides and it doesn't look right. Yeah, and all of these bastards have taken his place. He's forgotten, but not yet gone. And I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. And I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. And I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. It's time. We walk down the beach beside that old hotel. They're tearing it down now, but it's just as well. I haven't shown you everything a man can do. So stay with me, baby. I got plans for you. These are the times to remember, 'cause it will not last forever. These are the days to hold on to, 'cause we won't, although we'll have wanted to. 'Cause this is the time, time is gonna change. You're giving me the best of you, but now I need the rest of you. Did you know before you came into my life, it's some kind of miracle that I survived? Someday we'll both look back and have to laugh. We lived through a lifetime and the aftermath. This is the time to remember, 'cause it will not last forever. These are the days to hold on to, 'cause we won't, although we'll have wanted to. This is the time, time is gonna change. You're giving me the best of you, and now I need the rest of you. The fact that somebody lit this with torches makes me feel like this is important. Name tag, yes please. How are we doing on inventory stuff? Because it's about to be nighttime. We have inventory space. We're not finding a lot of copper anymore. And I almost want to find out where this cave exit is, so we can mark it with landmarks for other things. Okay, so that stresses. castle right there. Maybe we shouldn't be digging directly under somebody else's base too much. Whew. I don't know, I'm in a Piano Man mood. We've been singing some Ben Folds and then some Billy Joel. Come out, Virginia, don't let me wait. You Catholic girls start much too late. Oh, but sooner or later it comes down to fate. I might as well be the one. Well, they showed you a statue, told you to pray, built you a temple and locked you away. Oh, but they never told you the price that you'd pay, the things that we might have done. Well, only the good die young. That's what I said. Only the good die young. Only the good die young. You might have heard that I run with a dangerous crowd. We ain't too pretty, we ain't too proud. We might be laughing a bit too loud, oh, but that never hurt no one. So come on, Virginia, show me a sign. Send up a signal, I'll throw you a line. That stained glass curtain you're hiding behind never lets in the sun. Darling, only the good die young. Woo! I tell you, only the good die young. Only the good die young. You got a nice white dress and a party on your confirmation. You got a brand new soul. And a cross of gold. But Virginia, they didn't give you quite enough information. You didn't count on me when you were counting on your rosary. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And they say there's a heaven for those who will wait. Some say it's better, but I say it ain't. I'd rather laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. The sinners are much more fun. You know that only the good die young. Oh, Scar, I tell you, only the good die young. That's what I said. Anyway, Scar, what brings you to my base?
Oh.
Sorry, I'm bad at this. I'm like, sorry.
Joe, are
Sorry.
you cooking some hamburgers down here?
This is gonna be the cash box where the tokens go. That's
Joe,
what
you need to put a mind the gap sign there. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's where the tokens go.
All right, here's your very own jelly plushie for enduring all my deaths.
Thank you, Scar.
Now it's awkward that it says jelly plushie killed by Scar.
I mean, honestly, I kind of love the idea that every time you sell a jelly plushie, it comes with a certificate that says killed by Good Times with Scar. But, you know.
You know it's genuine that way.
I know. It's so genuine.
All right,
Thank you, Scar.
Bye.
Bye. I feel like we had another verse in here. Said your mother told you all that I could give you was a reputation. Oh, she never cared for me. But did she ever say a prayer for me? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Come out, come out, come out. Virginia, don't let me wait. You Catholic girls start much too late. Oh, but sooner or later it comes down to fate. I might as well be the one. Darling, only the good die young. Tell you, baby, only the good. I gotta remember this is not a totem. That's gonna be a problem if I die with this. Let's just wear it on my head for right now. Oh, dang it. Silk, I didn't switch out the fix. It's fine. I'm awake, I promise. My brain is melted from all the editing. All the editing. So melted brain. Doesn't Cub have a copper mining quest, or is that just iron? I don't know. Honestly, like, we went through all the trouble. It took us like 4 hours to find that dripstone cave. Not because it took 4 hours of active searching, but because y'all bothered me for 4 hours to finally go find it, and I just now started going over there, so I feel like we should maybe lean into that a little bit more. I did want to turn night into day and update my torch situation here. Oh my gosh, my brain. So tired. There's a reason this is a chill mining stream tonight instead of like an active building planning. Build it higher, plan it better. Oh, okay, I did have a question for y'all. So okay. Hey, wait, before we have questions for y'all, we have tips from Dottie Matrix for $6. Thank you, Dottie Matrix, who says, let's start a new thing. Write a haiku for Joe and tip $5.75. Oh, I rounded that to $6, but it was $5.75. That makes sense. Yeah, I get it. $5.75. Let's start a new thing. Write a haiku for Joe and tip 5.7. Great effort! If anybody else wants to try and show up Dottie Matrix, tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. I also might have counted that wrong because I'm really tired. Write a wait. Let's start a new thing. Write a haiku for Joe and tip 5.75. No, maybe it works. Maybe it works. Okay, I might have miscounted. I'm really tired. Okay. Let's find a place where the dripstone caves are accessible from above and then descend again, my friends. Gonna find a place where the dripstone caves gonna open up opportunities to seize the copper. I found some here, we're gonna seize it here right now. Switching back to Silk Touch. That's the logical approach with how this is going, yeah. Yeah. Also, let's see. We got another tip rolling in. We gotta check who it's from. Once again, it's from Magenta, who tips 5.75. Gonna mark that as 6 on the abacus, though. Puts us 8 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. So, got my laundry done to the tune of Billy Joel. A pleasant evening. Hey! Nailed it! Thank you, Magenta, for tipping 5.75. With the haiku, I'm reading them live. What was I gonna ask? Oh, so if anybody from Nashville is here, there's a bunch of events between now and September 14th, which is our municipal voting day, where citizens will have the opportunity to meet with and ask questions of mayoral candidates. I kind of don't know what I should ask because I feel like I know where the candidates stand on all the substantive policies I care deeply about. So I guess I could just say something like, thank you for agreeing with me on the substantive policy I care strongly about, or I disagree with you on this and wish you would consider an alternative. Are there any good questions to ask a mayoral candidate? Like, and this is not like joke questions. It's not like, haha, I've got this guy on the show and or this lady or whatever. We're gonna be funny and goof around. It's gonna be a real gas, y'all. But like, it's like, no, if I'm like, because they are doing so many events between now and voting day, I realize like, oh, I'm trying to find stuff to get my kid out of the house. And some of these look interesting, like on the off chance that I actually get FaceTime with a candidate. Sean Cockrell says, write a haiku, but in a complicated way to spread an idea. See, that's like I said, this is not performance art. This is like, hey, has anybody here participated in municipal life? Because, like, this is our first, like, serious mayoral race in, like, a while. Like, the last few mayoral races were kind of a joke. And so, like, they didn't campaign very seriously. But this time, people are actually campaigning seriously. And so, like, you know, every citizen who wants to will have a chance to meet with them and ask questions. And I'm just not... I've never been good at that sort of thing. Like, when people are like, oh, do you want to meet so-and-so who made this thing you like? And I'm like, not really. Like, I appreciate what they did, but, like I get excited meeting people who like my work because I don't know, it just, like... But, like, the idea of meeting, like, when I've been at PAX and stuff and I've had the chance to talk to, like, the folks who make Penny Arcade or stuff I really like, I sometimes, like, kind of freeze up because I'm just like, oh man, I really like this thing you guys made. And they're like, thank you. And then they, like, wait for me to say literally anything else. And I'm like, that was it. I've got nothing else. Bye. Like, I talk for a living and I don't, but, like, when I'm talking to people, in certain contexts, it's more challenging. Hey, welcome, Lagundo Raiders. We are currently mining for copper in a deep dripstone, not deep, in a dripstone cavern here. And we're also talking about good questions to ask mayoral candidates, because Nashville has a mayoral race that's going on right now. They just did a they did an initial election to narrow it down to 2 candidates, and now there's kind of a runoff on September 14th. Canadian on phone, Chloe the Great and Powerful tips 7, which is enough to get us to our next face camera expansion, who says, Canadian on phone, I cannot pick the exact value. What is a 699 haiku called? But, yeah, anyway. So, every time we hit tipping milestone, the camera gets bigger. Here we go. Expand, Joe. Do-do-do-do. Lowering the Joe Pasty now to 50%. For the Lagundo Raiders, who just came in, thank you, Lagundo, for that raid. You know what? Oh, I'm almost out of, rockets anyway. So why don't we go back to my base, assuming I know which direction it's in. I can show my base off to the new viewers. I am playing on the HermitCraft server. Good Times with Scar, Jevin are online right now. Tango and Zed are AFK. Here is Rendog's Castle, which is due north of my base, which should come into view distance shortly behind that tower, if we just give it a second. Sean Cockrell, thank you for tipping 2, who says that was a haiku about haikus. We also got another tip rolling in from Bronwyn. Thank you, Bronwyn, for the 5. That's going to get us 13 away from the next expansion. And then we got another tip rolling in from Megan for 6, or 575, who says, have a fast haiku, in truth limericks, I'm better, but sticking to theme. Then Stephanie Hall, 17. Well, I want my base to load so I can show the people who just came in. Welcome, Lagundo Raiders. So my base this season is a colossal scale pinball machine I call Deep Field. The cabinet is based off measurements I did on Spooky Pinball's Total Nuclear Annihilation, but the playfield layout and the art package I'm designing myself as I go. So I've got the sides of the machine are based on actual JWST and Hubble composite photos of deep fields. These are all galaxies. I basically pulled up this image in Photoshop and then freehanded it in Minecraft, going through block by block. The playfield here, I'm in progress on designing. We've got some drop targets here that are going to look like Chandra Space Telescope. We're going to trap ball, captive ball up here. These holes are where the pop bumpers are going to go. We got another hole that leads to my mining area. That's where the subwoofer is going to be installed. We haven't put that in yet. The reason we're gathering copper right now is to get copper to make tokens. So, yeah, we got a lot going on. Okay. So, Stephanie Hall 17 tips another 575 here, which is going to put us one away from the next expansion, who says, Joe is so tired mining for copper this stream. Happy Friday night. Well, happy Friday night to you too, Stephanie Hall. Okay, the reason we came back here was because we were about to run out of rockets. I do not want to be stuck in this cash box without rockets because there's no ladder or exit from there. But yeah, Lagundo, thank you as always for the raid. Thank you, Lagundo Raiders, for giving my show a try. We do some weird stuff with the camera. We do some weird conceptual things. I don't know. I have fun. Hopefully some of y'all will too, but no worries. It is not for everybody. It might not be for you. So we're going to just free up some inventory space real quick. And then let's put our fancy hat away so we don't lose it. Okay, so we need to go back to harvesting deep slate. Not deep slate. Dripstone copper. So we have more torches. Oh, we need the sticks. And we need coal. We have rockets. Let's bring an extra stack or two of rockets this time. Blurg. This chest monster is getting away from me. We'll put the unprocessed copper in here for now. And then head back there. So, we've got 2 museums over here. Cub Fan and Zombie Cleo's. We've got the rest of the HermitCraft shopping district over here. Cub's TCG Pyramid, my near neighbor. Scarland is off this way, although it's a no-fly zone. Hot guy will shoot people down. But yeah, there's Scarland there. Oh, I realized that my camera is not set up to the proper resolution. We had it turned down for the other stream, but we can turn it back up now. The problem is I need to turn off the arts and crafts camera, or this one won't work. So we're going to deactivate the arts and crafts camera. Switch back to HermitCraft. There we go. Yay, okay. Where was I? We were flying back to the Dripstone Cave. Dun 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 do 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 do. Welcome, Quill. Hope you're having a good time. Mailman Dave says trash collection might be a good one to see if they have a policy at all. Actually, we have had a lot of issues with the trash and recycling not being handled very well because of a really bad contract that went out. That I'm asking about the asking about the water thing. Water would be good because I actually just went on a tour of Metro Water, one of our big facilities, a few months ago, and I can ask him if he has a plan for the how to use the extra hydrogen that they're currently just wasting from when they have this thing where they're making chlorine themselves at the water treatment plant, because bringing in concentrated chlorine is a huge chemical problem, but bringing in salt is really easy. So they're using this thing where they do an electrolytic process with salt water and then separating out chlorine from it, which is way safer, and they can do it at the concentrations that they need. A lot of copper here, so that's good. Let's just light this up so we don't have monsters attacking us while we mine. But yeah, apparently, I asked what they were using the surplus hydrogen for, and they're like, yeah, we're just off-gassing it. We haven't figured out a financially viable way to capture and resell it or reuse it. I mean, that's not really the mayor's job to figure out, but I would be curious if he's heard about that and if he has any ideas. Yeah, the camera gets bigger every time we hit certain tipping milestones, and we are currently $1 away from the next tipping milestone. And, ooh, it looks like a tip just rolled in. Let me see who that's from. Alt-tabbing in a dark cave. Mantua Maker tips 575, so that's going to get us 5 past that next phase camera expansion milestone. who says, here to thank you once, Mantua Maker, here to thank you once again. You've improved my game. Well, thank you, Mantua Maker. Here we go. Expand Joe. Do. We're going to lower the Joe opacity now to 42%. Each time the camera gets bigger, it gets more transparent. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are 15 away from that next expansion. Does the camera ever get smaller? It resets at 6 a.m. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania time, because in this house we follow Groundhog Day rules. Okay. I don't know why it's so hot in here. I'm like legitimately actually sweating, which doesn't like I mean I sweat when I stream all the time, but like I can actually like feel like beads of sweat forming on my neck and rolling under the lip of my tank top. It's like, what is going on in here? It's not that hot. At least it shouldn't be. I can't see the thermometer from here. Because it was relatively cool out today, so I turned the air conditioner off. Maybe that's what's getting me. How far are we away from Beetlejuice? I don't know. I just kind of do it one milestone. I just do the milestones as they go. I don't have like a good grasp of that. If we're at 42% Joe opacity, it would be, the next would be 32, then 24, then 20, then 16, then 12, then 9, then 6, then 3, then Beetlejuice. So I'm not sure what that comes out to. Mailman Dave says, hydrogen is stupid to capture and store. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so we're back out here toward the entrance. At least I think this is back toward the entrance. I don't know where we are. Yep, that's where my old thing was. Okay, cool. Large amounts of hydrogen. I've never done anything wrong, says Quill. Yeah, sure. Welcome, Quoth. Yeah, one of the mayoral candidates was working at the shop where I bought my Game Boy SP a long time ago. So I could ask him, hey, what years were you working at the Great Escape in Midtown? I might have bought a Nintendo from you. But that's like just small talk. That's not like substantive policy stuff. But yeah, we have had a bunch of problems with our private company that was hauling off waste. I could ask about glass recycling for residential stuff. That's a priority for me, but like, you know, it'd be more like, hey, everybody says this is impossible. Is that, you know, what would it take? Is that your view? I don't know. Ask about road salt in wintertime. That's not really much of a concern here. So I guess my next question is, how would you feel about someone like me publicly endorsing a political candidate? Because there's a lot of people I follow in the Nashville Twitter scene who are just straight up saying, hey, here's who I'm voting for in the council race. Here's who I'm voting for in the mayoral race. I endorse them, and I hope you give them a check out. And I feel like it wouldn't be... Like, if people who, like, tweet about politics and have a much smaller following than me do that, it doesn't seem like it would be unreasonable for me to do that. But I feel like in order to avoid, like, wild sprawl, like, I might need a policy where it's like, I'll only formally endorse candidates I've spoken with face-to-face. So if people are like, Joe, are you endorsing anybody in this California Senate race? Answer is probably, well, whether or not I think one of the candidates is better than the other, I haven't met with either of them, and I'm not going to endorse somebody. I'm not gonna endorse anyone in a race where I haven't spoken to either candidate. I might say I won't if I've spoken to either candidate in a race, I might endorse somebody in that race. So it's like, okay, well, I haven't spoken to the guy I'm endorsing, but boy, I spoke to his opponent, and wow, what a moron. Ferry Terrier says, I don't live in Nashville, but it's easy to get burned by that. Fake Circon says, I wouldn't care much, but I doubt your endorsements would really affect me geographically. Well, that's probably why you don't care, is because it wouldn't affect you geographically. Ferry Terrier says, I don't live in Nashville, I feel like it's easy to get burned by that. Well, I feel like if I'm... I always feel like I'm not doing enough at the local level. So, I feel like if I'm going out of my way to research candidates, I should be comfortable publicly sharing the results of that research. Neon says it could get you in trouble. Well, I'm kind of... Why? Yeah, but, like, that's not a problem. That's just a thing. I mean, not doing anything can get me in trouble. So, to some degree, I'd rather get in trouble for doing something than doing nothing. Magenta Avocado says, I had the chance to meet a mayoral candidate at a Pride event, and I was able to ask his feelings on the annual free tree program being discontinued. I also took that opportunity to say I feel very strongly about how valuable a program it is. Well, part of this, too, though, is I feel like if I'm going out of my way to research local political candidates and talk about them, maybe that's the sort of thing that will encourage other young people to do the same. I don't know if I still count as a young people now that I'm like 37 or something stupid, but that's the wrong pickaxe. How are all of these Silk Touch? Ask about NASCAR. Yeah, there is a big problem with NASCAR in Nashville. What's up with NASCAR? Oh, they're trying to convert the fairgrounds speedway for NASCAR stuff, but they don't want to, like, put in the infrastructure. Basically, the people who want to make money off this NASCAR thing don't want to pay for anything. And so it's going to be like a fiasco unless somebody else pays for it, which is the taxpayers. And the taxpayers are kind of like, I don't know, we're not going to make any money off this. Maybe the people who are building it should, you know, or people who work for NASCAR should be paying for some of this stuff. It's like one of those things. Nope, Queen says, considering your most candidates are over retirement age, you're young people. Yeah, I guess in this context. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Good times with Scar. Dun, dun, dun. Dee, 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 da, da, da. Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Ba, da, da, da. Do. Light pollution, community gardens, food and deserts, and green spaces. Those are some of the things that popped into my mind to ask about, maybe. One thing I keep seeing on Twitter is that different libraries are closing down temporarily because of air conditioning failing. I could ask if he has any, if he's got on the library infrastructure front. Because we shouldn't have libraries losing air conditioning in the middle of the summer. Bum 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 bum. Okay, let's go and cash out these into blocks. Block copper. Copper blocker. Okay. It is indeed a lot of copper. Toxic Lyricist could also ask about his plans for pandemic preparedness. A lot of communities haven't really learned anything from COVID and aren't doing anything to prepare for the next one. Good point. Hey, we got another tip rolling in from Laura for 5. Thank you very much, Laura. That's going to put us 10 away from the next Face Gamer expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. Oops. Bye, slime. Bye, 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 slime. Bye, slime. Bye, slime. La dun 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 dun. Am I getting tagged on something over here? Hold on, what's up with this? Okay, cool. That is a fine thing for me to get tagged on. Ferretary says there's also hostile architecture, colors of buildings and road combined with greenery that affects heat. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I know about that to be able to have. I don't want to start a conversation about something that I'm not ready to follow up on. Like, Nashville isn't that bad on the whole for hostile architecture. Although our bus stands need work. There's some problems there. But yeah, there are some problems with homelessness and camps and stuff that I could ask about too. Okay. So let's see. Each of these coins, oh gosh, is, let's say 49 blocks roughly. Because it's 7 by 7 minus 12. So each of these is about actually 38 blocks. And then that means, so it's like roughly 2 stacks of materials for each one. So we're actually in okay shape, especially because we have more copper in the other thing here. Okay. What's the best time of year to visit Nashville? I mean, spring and fall are both gorgeous. Summer is very hot, and winter can be pretty rainy. Winter, a lot of times in Nashville, is like 37 degrees, which is just above freezing, and raining. And so it's like, oh, I love going out in my rain gear when it's barely above freezing. So it's like, you know, because then your shoes get wet and you're like just cold, right? It's not the best time to visit in the winter, gonna be honest. I love the city, but I'm not gonna pretend it's nice here in the winter. Like, I would rather have actual snow than have like just not quite freezing rain all the time. It's a different thing, you know. Okay. So I'm going to make some more of these, and we can cut these into the square ones. Okay. Okay. we don't want to cut the copper right now. We want to store this properly. So let's put these torches up for the time being. Name tag can go away. We can consolidate down some of these. We should probably go gather the rest of the iron out of the thing too, actually. Okay, ingots, 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 copper. So we have a lot of these. So let's grab some empty boxes and run down to the mines with these extra buckets. Yeah, a lot of shulkers, some extra buckets. We can go clear out some lava. The lava lamp. We did the lava lamp. The lava lamp. It was a graveyard stamp. Okay. My inventory is garbage. It's fine. Okay. Okay, so dang it. Probably just chug one of these potions. Throw the bottle in there. Free up an inventory spot. I should have dropped that copper too. What was I thinking? And there we go. There's another lost bucket. Stephanie Hall says, we are studying American history, trying to plan a road trip from Texas to D.C. Well, you don't get more American than the Parthenon, and Nashville has the best Parthenon out there. I don't know if you heard a little thing called democracy, but it was invented by the Greeks, and then obviously we celebrate that here in Nashville. I don't know, I'm just rambling. Okay, we aren't actually... We've almost used 4 shulkers with the lava to clear this out. Wow. obviously American history began in Greece with the creation of democracy. Greek culture has been celebrated broadly in America and was prominently displayed in the film My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So, yeah, we're trying not to talk too much about struck work here. So instead I'm going to talk about a personal family thing. So, two of my siblings were both getting married like 2 weeks apart. And one of them was like, we're going to do a really traditional Catholic wedding that's like in Latin and all this other stuff. Super old school. And then my other brother was like, my fiance told me that I'm in charge of the invitations, and I didn't really know what to do for wedding invitations. And so I said, are you sure you want me to do the invitations? Because I'm going to do them the best I can. And his fiance was like, CJ, I don't have time to worry about the invitations. Just do them. And he's like, okay, I just wanted to make sure that I had permission to just do them. And I clearly do now. So I'm going to go just do the invitations. And so our other brother was doing his, like, super traditional Catholic wedding in Latin. And CJ was like, what do I know about making wedding invitations? And he had rewatched recently My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And he's like, all the wedding invitations in that had the Greek flag in it, or the Greek flag on the front. And so CJ and Katie's wedding invitations were, on the front of them was just a huge Vatican flag. And when we got it in the mail, like, my now ex-wife was just like, everyone in your family is so crazy Catholic. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, look at this invitation. It's the Vatican flag on the front. And I'm like, okay, that's a joke. And she's like, what? No, it's not. Peter's wedding is all in Latin, and CJ's wedding has a Vatican flag invitation. That's not a joke. And I'm like, it's clearly a joke. So I called up CJ, and I'm like, so CJ, we got a little bit of a, whenever my ex and I used to have like a serious disagreement about something that we needed like an outside arbitrator, I wouldn't like ask that outside arbitrator like, hey, we're having a little bit of a fight. Can you clear this up for us? I'd be like, so we got a little bit of a bet going on where we see that there's two ways you could read this. Could you just clear this up for us? I'm not going to say which one my point of view is and which one's my now ex-wife's point of view. But yeah, so CJ, we were talking about this, and it seems like there's two ways you could interpret this invitation. One, you're trying to seriously out-Catholic Peter. Or two, you're blatantly mocking Peter, and if we had to guess, Katie probably didn't look at this before it went to print. And he's like, well, I asked Katie if she wanted me to do the invitations, and she said I wouldn't have told you to do the invitations if I didn't want you to just do them. So I just did them. And, yeah, I wanted to get a laugh. So I'm like, okay. Thank you. But yeah. I gotta say, like, getting a very finely printed invitation with just the entire front is just the Vatican flag. It's like, oh, it was the best. We got a tip rolling in from Chris, who says, thanks for the entertainment, and I hope you get bigger. Well, Chris, you're part of the problem. Thanks to that, I'm $5 past my next face camera expansion milestone. With this, I can now finally achieve my potential. Here we go. Let's expand. Joe! Do. Anime voice. I don't know if this is actually an anime voice or not. But that brings us down to 32% Joe opacity. What? $15? Fairy Terrier says, sounds like something you would do. Yeah, I mean, we have my family is very big on commitment to the bit. Like anything we do, we kind of just really do. But yeah, Badger and I have not talked about wedding invitations yet because we don't know when the what do you call it? The immigration approval is gonna go through, and so we need to. It'll depend on we don't know the venue. We don't know we can't plan the wedding for real until we find out the when the government lets Badger move here. Yeah, if you want the government involved in your business, boy, yeah, this nothing more fun than the immigration process. So yeah, we'll depending on what the season of our wedding is, will indicate what venues are available in Tennessee, and what we can afford is going to be partially dependent on what time of year it is. Because different places have different costs depending on when you need them, that sort of thing. So, yeah, we'll put a British flag on them. Yeah, I don't think we're likely to. I'm not actually a big fan of flags in general. Lexilology is not exactly my whole thing. Ferro Terrier says venue Chuck E. Cheese's ? Well, so when I talked to my dad about this, I was like, hey, I don't know what you guys are willing to pay for in terms of the wedding, but, I don't want you to be surprised if it's just on me to pay for everything. If, I talk to somebody I know who owns an arcade, and maybe we just get married in a pinball arcade or something. And, I'm kind of expecting my dad to be like, what? You can't get married in an arcade? No, let me know what you need, and your brother and I will help out. And instead he just looks at me and goes, well, your cousin Kyle got married in a pinball arcade, and their marriage is going really well. So I'm just like, okay, thanks, Dad. I guess this might be what we're doing. We'll find out. We might try and rent one of the chapels at my alma mater as well. That's an option. We don't know yet. But yeah. Polaris Northstar says, at least your dad approves. Yeah, that's the thing is, at least I don't have to worry that he'll be insulted if I invite him and then it's at an arcade. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Let's go get another diamond and pay for more of Corellis' car wash, because we need more of Corellis' car wash. Car wash. Da, 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 da. Bum, bum. Car wash. Payment here. Payment there. Payment everywhere. Stephanie Hall, no, this is my dad. This is a conversation with my dad. We're not asking her family for money. And I left all my extra diamonds over there, so I guess that's as much healing as we're going to get on that pickaxe. Gaia says, one of the neighbor's kids got married in my folks' hayfield, but I don't know what Joe's hayfield connection's like. Well, part of the problem is that if we have a bunch of British people come for the wedding, a hayfield in fall might be fine, but a hayfield in spring or summer might be murder. So we can't count on outdoor... This is what I'm saying, like, in terms of, like, we can't pick a venue until we know the time of year. Because, like, there's some places that might be viable to do outdoors sometimes of the year. Like, oh, get a tent in case it rains, but, like, otherwise, you know, the temperature's fine. But then there's other places in Tennessee where it's like, oh, it would be too hot. Not a good idea. Okay, this feels like we're actually doing pretty okay on stuff here. Because the thing is, if you use the cutting thing here, you get a 4-to-1 on these cut copper, right? So that's a lot of cut copper we can get pretty quick for the outlines. Stephanie Hall says, I'm sure Dollywood has a place for y'all to get hitched. The problem is you can't fly into Dollywood. And all of the British guests aren't going to want to rent a car. And so realistically, we have to get married within city limits. We have to get married somewhere you could take a lift to conveniently. Dollywood's like a 3.5-hour drive. So, but yeah, like, I don't want Badger's guests from England to feel like we're jerks to them because we had, it's like, this is 3.5-hour drive from the nearest airport. And it's a country with unfamiliar roads where you have to drive on the wrong side. And half of you are from London and don't even have driver licenses. Party bus would be fun, but challenging to coordinate with multiple flights and stuff, right? Like, realistically, we want to get... It would be good if we got married within lift distance from the airport. Just as a courtesy to everyone flying in from England. But that does really increase the costs for venues, you know? It's a trade-off, because there's a lot of really cool places all over Tennessee that I'm like, oh, here would be good, here would be good, here would be good. But then the second we start talking about how trying to get people there, especially some of them might not have phones that work in America, or it's just like, it's a logistical nightmare. Like, just, yeah. Yeah, it's a challenge. We're trying to balance a lot of things. But like, nobody's going for dream wedding at this point. We're just going for what can we do that we can invite our closest friends and family to, and they can actually attend. Because like, if we did something 2 hours outside of town, almost none of Badger's friends and family would be able to make it. And that's just not cool, you know? If they're flying into Tennessee, maybe plan Tennessee for while they're over here. Maybe, but part of the problem is, too, we can't even give them more than 3 months' notice about when the wedding is because of how the immigration process works. So we can't say, hey, we're going to get married next year in fall, right? Make sure to take time off work. It might just be like, hey, this particular Saturday, 2.5 months out, we're getting married. Can you try to fly into Nashville? It's a problem. Clam Meditation says, my sister got married last month in another country, and renting cars and driving to the venue was a huge mess. Do you mind saying what other country, Clam Meditation, just out of curiosity? Mailman Dave said get married in the airport, I guess. I mean, honestly, that's not the stupidest idea. Like, there's a lot of really high ceilings. Yeah, immigration laws are very frustrating. The wedding was in Israel. Yeah, I would not feel super comfortable renting a car in a country where English was not like the primary language. Is English one of the state languages of Israel? I don't even know. I'm assuming not. I'm assuming it's just Hebrew. The official languages of the nation. Hebrew is the official language. Bum, bum, bum. Russian spoken by 20%. English is a known foreign language. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is trying to rent a car and drive in a country where I don't even know the Hebrew alphabet, right? I wouldn't feel comfortable driving in a country where I didn't know the alphabet. Clam Meditation says the main issue was the car rental place said they'd have cars rented ready at a certain time, but when my parents went to pick it up, the truck with the cars got stuck in traffic somehow. Yeah, like, I'd be willing to rent a car in England or in Canada, maybe. But, like, yeah, I would not be willing to rent a car in Vietnam. Like, I took a few semesters of Japanese and Chinese. I would theoretically be able to drive in Japan. But, any country, like, where they're using, like, the Arabic alphabet or the Hebrew alphabet, I would not feel comfortable driving in. Because I can't use either of those alphabets. I wouldn't feel comfortable driving in Thailand, Vietnam. Yeah. Clam Meditation says, my sister's wife is Israeli, and my sister's been living there for a few years, so we did have people there to help guide us. That's good. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I would be scared. Like, if I can't read the road signs, like, I feel like I shouldn't be driving, right? Yeah, if you all have some knowledge of Hebrew, that's very different, because I don't have any knowledge of the Hebrew alphabet. I would not be able to read it. NJ, we're talking about reading foreign road signs and renting cars. Nola says, when my mom remarried, they went to Vegas and did it at one of those quickie wedding chapels. She did a nursing conference in Vegas at the same time. Yeah, the thing is, we would really like for our family and friends to have the option of attending. We're not trying to elope. We're trying to have whatever plausible wedding we can, given the limitations of the immigration system. Stephanie Hall says road signs in Israel are in Hebrew and English. Oh, that's surprising, because it didn't list English as one of the national languages on the website. That's generous of them to have their road signs in a non... Clam Meditation says that's in touristy areas and it's not always certain. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, we have been mining a lot of copper in preparation for adding a second layer of tokens, which we're not going to start tonight because I need to put signs on these. What I do need to do is we need to go give Corrales more diamonds, I think. We need to go buy a bunch of those blue logs to make blue signs with, I think. How many of those blue logs do we have? I feel like I might have some already, but I'm not sure. Maybe not. Maybe we have no blue logs. Okay, we do have some more planks here. Okay. Welcome, Chen Chen. Glad you could join us. I am having a wonderful evening. It has been a very mentally intense day. I have gotten a lot done. I think my daughter had a good day, even though this was kind of one of those. So, like, on weekends where she's supposed to go to her mom's, and then her mom tells me at the last minute that is not going to happen. Custody situations are stressful, y'all. So sometimes I find out at the last minute that, like, hey, I'm not going to be seeing our daughter this weekend. And I'm like, okay, well, I had set aside this entire weekend for trying to edit this thing and do a bunch of work so that I could take Corinne on 2 trips the next 2 weekends. So instead, I've got to like find time to entertain Corinne this weekend and try to get all the work done I need to get done before next weekend and the weekend after. And so it's been a lot. Like editing this next video, I really hope that y'all like actually watch it. I know a lot of you watched it on stream and maybe it's not going to be any good, but like I'm really trying hard to like make it visually interesting despite the fact that it's just Scar and I talking a lot. And I'm worried that the methods I'm using are not proportionally commensurate to the returns. It's like I'm like I'll spend like 3 hours on something and then I'll be like, okay, I think I got it perfect, and I'm like, okay, that 6 seconds looks good now. But like I'm trying, because the problem is motion tracking software doesn't work well with Minecraft footage. So like there's like software nowadays that you can use to like say like, hey, if I recorded myself like flying past this screen, there's software I could use to like map where that screen is and then put a video on it. And then as I fly away, look back, look around, it would move it in and out and it just automatically do that. The problem is that software is designed to work with real world textures and stuff. It does not work well with Minecraft textures. Like it gets tripped up. And so I'm doing all of this motion tracking of that screen where I'm trying to put stuff on the screen while Scar and I are talking while the camera's moving. But I'm like kind of like, I was like, okay, I shouldn't have to do this frame by frame. I'll just find where the big swoops are in the motion and then it'll, keyframe that and it'll fill in the gaps. And it's like, oh, there's head bobbing in Minecraft. And so I'm having to like, every time my head bobs up and down, like do more keyframes. And it's like, it's driving me crazy. And like, if I do it 90% right, but not all the way right, it's just going to look like total garbage. And it's, I don't know. And I really want this video to look good. But what I really need to do, when do I need to post it? Or when am I going to post it? Well, I was hoping to have it done today, and instead I only got like the first 10 minutes out of 50 with the motion tracking in. So I might end up backing off of the motion tracking plan and just like find, instead of having it throughout the whole video, just find a few places to add it in and then just call it a day. But it's like, it is stressful. But I just wanted to, like, the problem is, like, SkyCloud says you can turn off head bobbing. Well, for one thing, that looks really bad. If you turn off head bobbing in Minecraft, it makes your videos look bad. Also, I already recorded the stuff with head bobbing. Like, the conversation with Scar occurred with head bobbing on. So Eklog says, it sounds like you're doing way too much for a subject most hermits address with a tweet. Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right, Eklogs. You're absolutely right. You are accurately describing the situation. And I'm going to continue to do way too much because it's just like, it's so far along. Like, everybody's just like, well, sunk cost, you can't let sunk cost fallacy, like, drag you down. But, like, I feel like sunk cost fallacy is, like, 99% of, like, how I justify anything in my life. I don't know if I can completely disregard the sunk costs of things and then, like, keep functioning. Like, well, I put a lot of work into like making sure that my kid got into a good school. And so I feel like even though it makes it life harder to keep my kid in that good school, I should keep my kid in this good school. And like but because like, I feel like, why did I work that hard to get to the point where my kid could be in this school at all to not keep working hard, even though it makes me stressed out sometimes? Like Like, I can't just dismiss things because of sunk cost, because that's, I guess, how I justify a lot of my stress, right? Like I've done, like it's kind of like this thing with, like, you know, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm just like, this seems like a lot of work, but I already did all this work to get to this point, so I might as well keep going. Right? And that, I don't know. I don't know. This is like, why don't I just give up and move in with my parents in a terrible school district and just, like, not have to worry about money until because my parents won't kick me out until my kid goes to college. Like, I could just go crash at their place for the next 8 years. But I feel like, I don't know, I worked hard to be independent. Maybe I should keep working hard to stay independent? I don't know, like, I don't know. I like if we start pulling threads on this sunk cost thing, it really, like, my entire life just falls apart. My entire life just falls apart if we start pulling at that. It's, Cavman says, I say persevere, Joe. Chloe the Great and Powerful says, there's a middle point between giving up and sunk costs. Chen Chen says, I think life is hard and there's really no good options, but I hope you choose the best hand that you got dealt. Ferret Terrier says, for some reason I think there's a bit of a line between doing a video frame by frame for some extra pizzazz and moving back in with your parents. I guess I don't. Like, it's the same argument, though. Is, like, all of the effort that went into setting up this charity stream. Like, we argued about this for, like, months. And then I didn't even get to go to the actual main stream because I was driving, but I did the shaving thing, and, like, everybody worked really hard to get these carts done. Like, there's a lot of effort that's already, like, I feel like when you're this close to the finish line, you should try to cross the finish line. Right? Toxic Litter says, my general rule is if I wouldn't start doing it today, I wouldn't keep doing it today. Would you start working hard to keep your kid in a good school today? If so, keep doing that. Maybe. I don't know. Lone Courier says, if it's worth doing right. Yeah, I'm willing to admit that after going frame by frame in a 60 frame per second video for most of the first 10 minutes for like 6 hours today, that I should not do the remaining 40 minutes that way. I'm willing to not do the remaining 40 minutes with exactly the same method I've done so far, but I am going to need to pick like a few of those minutes and do the same thing to just have the video not just completely fall off in quality. Like, there's going to be a few points in the video where Scar's talking about something and I want to show a video or picture on the screen that's moving, and I'm going to need to do it. Mailman Dave says, I don't know. I don't think there's a wrong time to start doing the right thing. Well, but that's the thing, though, is I usually think that I'm doing the right thing. I just justify it with all the sunk costs I've already done. Like, that's the whole thing, is I what do you call it? I reassure myself when I'm struggling to continue doing the right thing by saying, well, look at how much of the right thing I've already done. I should keep doing it. Because I've got it this far. I should cross the finish line on it. Ferroterrier says, but the video is still going to have the same message whether you spend dozens of hours going frame by frame or find another way to make it look good. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time trying to pursue other ways to make it look good. Laura Morgan says, it sounds like the sort of resolution you can ponder after some good sleep. Well, I mean, we're like 2 weeks into this video at this point. Like, this is not like one night of being tired. Like, yeah, I am this tired, but like I've been trying to figure out clever or easier ways to pull this off for a few days, and I'm at this point I'm just looking at it and going, okay, if I keep trying to come up with a clever way, this could take an infinite amount of time. But if I do this the brute force method, it will take a finite but large amount of time. Like, I feel like I've burned through all the infinite amount of brainstorming time, and I need to just knuckle down and do the finite brute force method at this point, which is what I've been doing all day, and I can look at that and say, I got 10 minutes of this video done today, whereas the other days, I didn't make much progress at all because I kept trying things that weren't working. Stephanie also says, hydration break to change the laundry and refill my drink. I mean, we're 2 hours in. At this point, if I get up, I'm just done. Toxic says, right now, taking everybody saying don't do this is a good sign that this is not the right thing. I mean, I can go back to brainstorming quicker ways to do this, but once again, that brings us back to infinite time because I'm no longer making actual progress. And like, I've spent months exploring motion tracking in Minecraft contexts, and it's super buggy and problematic. Like, this is not something I'm completely naive about. This is something like, I don't know. I feel like Brandon says, find a significant anniversary of that amazing night of donations, one not so close in the future, and gradually work on the video for release on that date instead of killing yourself over it. But I had this whole weekend set aside just to work on this. This is literally the best weekend in that this weekend was set aside to finish this. Like, I have 2 huge trips coming up, and I'm not going to be able to enjoy those if I don't spend the time that I had allocated this weekend. Like, I can do this. I can finish this by brute forcing it before I leave on those trips and enjoy those trips. Toxic says, just have the image take the whole screen as the auto plays. That's not as cool. I don't want to do that. Like, what's the point of even making stuff if you're not gonna push limits? Like, I feel like I'm not just trying to make videos. I'm trying to do things that are neat. And sometimes making cool things takes time. Like, I feel like you're like, if somebody was like trying to describe like inventing pointillist art, and you're like, what if you just don't do that many dots? It'd be a lot faster. It's like, yes, but it's not the same thing. Like, I'm trying to create something that people can come back to. Like, this is marking a major milestone on HermitCraft. I feel like this video, people might come back and watch this years later. It should be done right. Like, why not do something like this right? Toxic says, because this is your job, and sometimes your work requires you to just give it a solid 40%. But this is a specific thing where we're acknowledging people gave $250,000 over this. Like, why would I not want to demonstrate my appreciation for people by doing it right? Like, I know I can get this done if I just keep brute forcing it, and then I know I have 2 weekends ahead of me that I have trips planned that I can relax on. What you guys are describing is just going to make me hate going on those trips instead of enjoy going on those trips. I don't understand the argument. Like y'all are just, I don't understand this. I do not, like, I know I can get this done. I have a solution that will take a finite amount of time. Like, why can't I just do that? I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, we got a tip rolling in from Stephanie Hall for 34, who says 17 times 2 to help you enjoy your trips. You got this, Joe. Whatever you do, your community will support you. Thank you very much, Stephanie Hall. Let's see, 15 gets us 1 face camera expansion, 25, and then 9. So that gets us 1 away from the next one. So here we go. Expand Joe. Do. And we're going to lower the Joe pasty now to 24%. Da, da, da. Chen says, I think asking for help would be helpful. There are programmers and stuff that can create a program so it's easier to project things onto the screen. Motion tracking software exists. It just sucks for working with Minecraft. Believe me, I have spent a lot of time trying to get motion tracking software to work properly with Minecraft. It doesn't like the repetitive textures. It might work with shaders, but that's like a whole separate thing, and we're not set up for it. Cavman tips 50 and says, persevere. That first one gets you 1 face camera expansion, 21 gets you 2, 41 gets you 3, another 9. Boom, here we go. Expand juice. Lowering the Joe pasty now to 20%. Numero dos. Expand juice. And let's see if we can find my eyeball. Lowering the Joe pasty now to 16%. Numero tres. Even larger face. Da 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 da. Lowering the Joe pasty now to 12%. And we are now 11 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Toxic Glitter, I don't get burned out from doing repetitive things that make progress. I get burned out from feeling like nothing I do is meaningful and that I have no ability to produce or actualize my artistic vision. Like, feeling like everything I make is just garbage for the algorithm is where burnout comes from. Doing the bare minimum and expecting people to be impressed is where burnout comes from. Doing things artisanally that I care about is actually the part that's fulfilling for me. Like, I don't see, like, the reason people get overworked in this industry is because they spend all their time chasing the algorithm and not doing art. I'm trying to create something that has, like, a creative value. And it's very time-consuming, but that's how art is sometimes. And it's worthwhile. And, like, I don't know how to explain to people that I'm trying to make good things when that feels like that should be the expectation. Right? That's, like I've spent the last week or so trying to get clever workarounds for this, figured out there aren't clever workarounds for this, determined a brute force method to get it done, and am now getting it done. It's happening. I'm achieving my artistic vision slowly, but it's happening. That's valuable to me. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, I feel like this is so obvious. It's hard to communicate something that you don't have reasons for, but you just know, or you just feel. And this is one of those things. Like, like, it's exhausting doing repetitive work to achieve your goals, but it's stressful to give up on your goals and just say, I don't care anymore. Like, because at the point where I don't care anymore, why bother with any of it? Like, like I said, it's like you're pulling at these threads that just don't make any sense to pull at. Like, I just, I don't know. Good luck with your job offer, Hunter, in the isotope geochronology lab. I'm assuming that's somehow related to your field of study, so good luck with that. Okay, well, I need to go move the laundry along and refill my drink, but I am too tired to do a hydration break and continue the stream, so we're going to wrap up here. Let's see if Manu is live. I know it's a holiday weekend. I mean, the only reason I finished college was because I was, like, almost done with it. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's just there is a value to saying, I've almost finished something. I might as well do it right. Like, I could have transferred to an easier school, but my degree wouldn't have been as valuable. Like, why not finish at the school I was at? I don't know. Like... Okay, yeah, Manu is doing a film called Life Size. I don't know what that is. We're going to go ahead and raid Manu, or raid messages. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hill's raid here. MPT3K raid. I'm going to post a link to that in both chats. Anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.